Sam Lyons, and I welcome you back to the bestbeginnerguitarlessons.com website. And today we're going to start our journey, and I'm going to be answering a few questions that I get most often from people that are interested in taking guitar, but have questions about different things in reference to practice and how long does it take to play a song, and etc. So I'm going to answer a few of the common questions today. Maybe it will help you in understanding a little bit more about learning how to play the guitar. The most asked question that I get from just about every person who's interested in learning how to play the guitar is it hard to learn to play? And the answer to that is no. It's very, very easy to learn to play if you have a course that is focused, one-on-one, one lesson to the next, and you have someone there guiding you to help you along with your progression. The reason I started this site is with all the different options on the internet, different people have different courses and videos, etc., leading in all kinds of different directions. I wanted to be able to have a course dedicated to where is if you were sitting right here across from me, one-on-one, I can lead you and help you step by step. And again, if you have any questions about anything while taking my course, I'll be glad to answer them personally. I answer each and every question personally via email. And if you have a question, at the top of the website where it says you can join my monthly newsletter, just click on there, enter the information, ask your question. I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have. But it is not hard to learn how to play the guitar. I have taught hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people how to play. It's just a matter of having someone show you the right way to learn how to play. And that's what I will do here on this website. But let's get started with some of the questions. How often do I need to practice? Well, that depends from person to person. It depends on the individual. Some people are able to learn faster than others. But as far as how often, I would say at least 15 minutes per day, at least 5 days a week. And if you can pick the guitar up and actually play 15 minutes a day, that will keep you progressing at a good, solid pace. If you miss a day or two during the week, try to make it up a little bit at a time at the end of the week possibly. And try to get 15 minutes at least in per day, 5 days a week. The more you practice, the quicker you'll learn how to play. Let's see what another question is. How quickly will I be able to play a song? There again, it will depend. In a matter of maybe 4, 5, 6 lessons, you'll be playing your first song. And again, it just depends on how much you practice, how much time you put in on it. And some people pick it up faster than others. Do I have to practice every day? And again, no, not every day. I recommend 15, 20 minutes minimum, 5 days a week. If you can practice more than that, that's great. Because the more you practice, the quicker you'll learn how to play. Are my fingers going to get sore? And if they do, should I stop practicing? Everyone who starts on playing the guitar, your fingers will get sore. They'll form grooves in your fingers as you practice, and until you get used to it and form calluses on the end of your fingers, they will get sore and they will hurt. And if it gets to the point where it's unbearable, just go ahead and stop. Take a day off or 2 days off, whatever it is. Let your fingers heal a little bit, then start again. Because it's common for everyone's fingers to get sore to some extent. What type of strings should I use? Nylon strings or steel strings? Most acoustic guitars are steel string guitars, like the one I'm holding here. They do make classical guitars, which have nylon strings on them. And the major difference between those two, classical guitars have a little bit wider neck, wider this way. So it makes it a little bit more harder to play, reach around for your chords. I don't recommend starting with a classical guitar, but if you're having trouble with the steel strings causing finger soreness, you can get you some nylon strings and put on your guitar, change the steel strings to nylon, and that's going to make it a whole lot easier to be able to play, and it's going to make it a whole lot easier on your fingers also. You will lose some of the quality of sound because nylon strings do not project. They're not as loud as the steel strings, but they do work as far as helping you be able to absorb the finger soreness, dealing with it. Should I use a certain string? I always recommend that you put a light gauge string on your guitar. And what I mean by light gauge, the strings come in different thicknesses. And if you put a light gauge or even an extra light gauge string on your guitar, that makes it easier to play. Even in the steel strings, the lighter it is, the softer it is to play, the easier it is to play. And if you have any questions on what to get as far as the light gauge or extra light gauge set of strings, just go to your local music store, tell them you need a light gauge set of acoustic strings or extra light, and they should be able to help you with that. Will I be able to play different types of songs like rock, country, jazz, etc.? And the answer to that's yes. Once you learn your basic chords, your majors, your minors, your sevenths, which I will teach you, you will be able to play any type of music you want. Whether rock's your thing or country, whether you like jazz or blues, whatever it may be. You'll have enough chords and enough rhythms as far as learning how to play different types of rhythms for different types of music. And you will be able to play any type of song, any type of music you want. Do I need to cut my fingernails? That's one that's asked a lot. And yes, on your carding hand, you will need to have your fingernails cut really close to where your end of your fingertips, when you're pressing the strings down, are able to press the strings straight down. Where your fingernails will be in the way, if they're not sharp, they'll be in the way and you will not be able to play your cards properly. So yes, the answer to that question is absolutely yes. I know sometimes, especially the ladies and girls, they want to cut the fingernails, but if you want to play and be effective in doing so, they need to be sharp. What if I'm left-handed? Another good question. Like I say, I've taught over 36 years, and I've never had a left-handed person not be able to play right-handed in my 36 years. But occasionally, there are some people that they just cannot play as a right-handed. If you're left-handed and you're playing as a right-hander, your left hand will be doing the chording, your right hand will be doing the strumming. So it's usually no problem for a left-hander to play the guitar as a right-hander would. Sometimes though, certain people are just not able to, they don't feel comfortable this way, so they have to play left-handed. You can take your guitar, take your strings, reverse your strings, the little one on top, the big one on the bottom, all the way down, and you play your guitar as a left-handed guitar. And of course you'd be holding the reverse the way I'm holding this one. So should you not be able to play as a right-hander, yes, you can play left-handed, and you can also buy a left-handed guitar. The selection is not as big for left-handed guitars as right-handed guitars, but there are some out there, and you can find one if you end up having to buy a guitar and not wanting to change strings on a right-handed guitar. Should I use a pick? Yes, we'll be using a pick in all of our classes, and a pick is really important. The type of pick and the thickness of the pick, they vary from one to the other. The sizes vary, and you will learn as you go through a variety of different types of picks which one feels right for you. And as far as holding the pick, that's a personal preference. Hold it however it feels comfortable to you. Same thing about holding the guitar. Well, how should I hold the guitar? Well, you see, I'm just sitting behind right here, across my leg. Hold it right across my body. Some people want to let the guitar get down like this. You don't want that. It makes it hard to play the chords, basically impossible, and the sound will be dead, and it will not sound clear. So you need to just have your guitar up and learn how to play it with the guitar facing this way. Whether it's forward or backwards, really doesn't matter, however you feel comfortable. But you want it facing this way, not laying down like this. Is it better to learn on electric or acoustic guitar? The electric guitar, like the one I have next to me here, is a smaller guitar. It's thinner. The strings on it are much lighter or thinner, and it is much easier to press the strings down on an electric guitar. Much easier. And it is a good idea that if you really want to start and not have to worry about the finger soreness, the electric is the answer. I always recommend starting on an acoustic guitar, even though you're going to deal with some finger soreness and it's going to be a little hard to press down. Once you learn on the acoustic, then you can play the electric with ease. But if you like the electric guitar and you want to start on electric, that's fine. It will be easier to play as far as making the chords. The neck is also smaller. What is the difference between nylon strings versus steel strings? Like I said before, the nylon strings do not give you as much sound. They're less volume, less clarity of sound, but they are much easier on the fingers because they're soft, made of catgut, and they're real soft and clear and really easy to play. How do I know when it's time to change strings? Another good question is always asked. When you first start out, you really, as a beginner, you really won't know when it's time to change strings. But as you progress and start learning to play, learning your chords, you'll know that the strings start to sound flat. And depending on how much you play, how often you play, how many hours you put on your guitar, the strings will tend to, from your sweating of your fingers and etc., the strings will start getting gritty and also start becoming dead. And you'll be able to recognize that after you start playing some of your chords and getting familiar with the sounds. What is a good age to start learning the guitar? Now this has been something that I'm asked a whole lot, and like I tell everyone, I've taught students that are very young to very old. And what I recommend, even if you have a 1.5, 2, 3-year-old, that's a little too early to start actually taking a course in learning how to play guitar. But if they show some interest in music, get them a little toy guitar. Let them have the little guitar. They're not going to play it, but they might strum on it. They may drag it around the house, sit with it. That's good. It's at least you're introducing them to the guitar, and as they get a little bit older, they'll keep that interest and go ahead and want to learn how to play guitar and start learning. My ideal age is 7 years old and up. At 7, they're able to recognize what we're doing, be able to follow instructions, and the guitar won't be too hard to play. It'll be easy to play. It won't be too big for them at that age. And you can get a smaller size guitar, like a half size to 3/4 size, that would fit them really, really well. Another thing that I'm asked also is people say, well, I can't learn how to play. My fingers are too big, or they're too small, or they're too long, or they're too short. In any of those cases, makes no difference. If you really have the desire to play and learn how to play, it makes no difference whether your fingers are short and stubby or long and thin, whatever the case may be. You can and will learn to play the guitar. The secret to the whole thing is having someone who's really interested in you learning how to play, which I am, and I'm going to help you learn how to play. And again, if you have any questions, click up at the top where it says join my monthly newsletter. You can ask me any question you want. I will respond personally. But again, You can absolutely start and learn if you follow a structured course like the one that I'm presenting here on this website, and have someone truly interested in helping you learn how to play, which is what I am. I truly want everyone who wants to learn how to play, learn how to play. That's what I'm dedicated to. That's why I put this website up on the web. And so now, if you're ready to go, I'm ready to go on to the next lesson. And I wish you all the luck. And again, if you have any problems or questions, I will be glad to answer them. Just send me an email. Let's go ahead and get started learning to play the guitar.